I have returned. Greetings.
We are in.
We are in.
Genio banned. Seems good.
Alright, where are
Naga
we?
getting banned again.
Oh, no, that's not the screen we want. We don't want to see Crysen's 1,000-throw stare. We want the draft. There we go. Right, I had to quickly grab a cup of coffee. But we are here in the draft. First picks have happened. We've not missed too much. And like you said, pretty standard bans all around so far. Double Dimension. Oh, they grabbed the Beastmaster, which has been banned in our previous 2 games, right?
Remaining.
Yeah. So some interesting bans. The Death Prophet and the Oracle, the ones that stand out, I think. Double Dimension noticing that ESPADA, I guess they like to run the Death Prophet. I think the Oracle, it seemed really strong last game. I checked what the main change was. It was actually that you can't
Disjoint Fortune's End.
You can't disjoint Fortune's End, which is really good. It used to be like a weak ability. You used to be able to blink out of it and things like that, but you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, like it's so good against heroes like Void and stuff like that now.
Yeah, super reliable lockdown.
And of course, ESPADA realizing with the Warlock pick, they don't want to play against an Oracle. So Double Dimension Beastmaster Sky likely is their aggro duo. Warlock Bounty though as a support pairing opener.
You don't see Bounty much anymore, but I think it's a nice hero against the Skywrath. Skywrath does struggle when you get on top of him and start hitting him with that Orb of Venom.
He's got 0
low
armor,
armor,
right?
low health. Yeah, exactly. So Bounty Hunter is good in that regard. Not sure what he does against the Beastmaster though, so we'll have to see how it pans out.
10 seconds remaining.
All right then. Night Stalker, Lycan. Get rid of some of these vision heroes. All these nighttime heroes. Like we were talking about this the other day about heroes with that night vision and ways to kind of abuse it.
They're all CIS teams all seem to like playing with these Night Stalkers and Lycan's heroes that just run at you when vision is weak.
Maybe even Slark to some extent, right? With his night vision.
Yep.
Getting that jump onto people seems incredibly important. Double Dimension, of course, they've got the Beastmaster with the Hawk. ESPADA have the Bounty with the Track and that Invis. Quite interesting, though, with this support opener. I feel like when we have seen Bounty, it's been more of like a POS 5 Bounty, where you don't really care about dying. You know, you get vision, you get info, you scout. If you die, you die. But you're running around with, like arcane boots and a magic stick or something like that. But then you usually have a POS 4 which can, kind of exploit that and get a bit of gold or utilize the items it's given. For instance, like a Scarith Mage would, get the double bracer, get the Rod of Atos, get these items which help you. I don't see Warlock doing the same thing. So it feels like ESPADA here are going to have maybe 3 very greedy cores or 3 cores that rely on itemization.
Yeah. Warlock's definitely not one of those heroes you want to give loads of farm to. No items on him are that good, really. So I expect to see Bounty Hunter playing the 4 being greedier with his items. But you're right, the way people have been playing it has been more that kind of puppy style, right? You know, buying the wards, not really accepting you don't really need those items on the hero and giving priority to someone else, but looks like ESPADA are going a bit differently.
And then go for courier snipes.
Yeah, that's obviously a big part of the hero, pressuring that courier, making them constantly aware of it.
5 seconds.
I mean, sometimes you see good Bounty Hunters, they'll kill the courier 3 or 4 times in a game, which is an insane amount of gold. Clockwork's an interesting pick. So Clockwork offlane. It is good against the Skywrath. Not great against the Beastmaster because he can summon his units, so your initiation is a bit weak against him. But good against the Zeus as well.
Oh, very interesting. I've just got myself an email here saying someone has tried to access one of my Steam accounts. Very naughty. Luckily, guys, listen, 2-factor authentication. Use SteamGuard. Use 2-factor authentication.
10 seconds.
Sometimes your password's going to get leaked or hacked or something, and people are going to steal your account.
5 seconds
Keep these Bugattis safe,
All of my little hats and all of that stuff is all perfect. I think the only thing I've got on that account is Dota 2, to be perfectly honest. So if it disappeared, I wouldn't be too sad. But yeah, that gave me a bit of a shock there.
Disruptor is a good counter to the Clockwork. ESPADA's only initiation right now really is this hero, so if you can glimpse him back before he can really get into the fight, then definitely a good tool to have against it. Also nice in lane. Usually Clockwork's way of surviving in lane is placing those cogs down and pushing you back, but if you glimpse him back, that's really not an escape at all.
And if you've got, a number of ranged heroes.
Yeah, indeed.
Clockwork might struggle a little bit, but, picking Clockwork into what they'd seen already, there's no real Force Staff buyers. Beastmaster doesn't want to, Skyrath Zeus Disruptor, not really natural progression or itemization for them to go a Force. How important is that? Final pick for Double Dimension, do you feel like you need someone who will buy a Force Staff?
I think you can itemize for it on Zeus. Okay. I think in certain games you do need to go for it. It does delay your timings on your damage items, like, Aether Lens, Ags, things like that, but it's really the only way this Zeus is going to die at the moment, so I expect him to go for that Force Staff.
Radiant team back.
Another Pugna.
Yeah. Seeming like a favoured hero by these teams. It's good against Zeus, obviously, and Skyrath, both high mana costs, so if you can get that ward down, they're both going to damage themselves a lot.
Doesn't give you the same kind of saving potential that often you look for. Let's for instance, hypothetically, against a Beastmaster, it can be quite good in some situations. Person gets roared, he throws the axes, but you've decrept them and they take no damage. But you can't really decrept save someone while they're roared because you're against a Zeus and a Skyrath who are going to blow them up. So it feels good, again, aggressively, but it's one of those very squishy heroes that could get blown up very, very easily. And looking at the way that they're setting up the lanes here, it's going to have to be a pos 1 or 2 Pugna, right? Up against the Zeus or in the safe lane.
Yeah, I think you put it in the mid lane against the Zeus, most likely. I don't think he needs to be too worried about saving. Clockwork's quite a natural blade mail buyer, so if he does get in on that initiation, pops that blade mail, then Double Dimension won't be able to kill him anyway, or risk taking a lot of damage off themselves. I mean, blade mail and that Pugna ward could be really real issues for Zeus and Skyrath.
Do you consider banning the Void here? Something that Kuman has been playing quite a lot recently. I'm assuming Pikachu Zeus, Cheshire Cat Beastmaster, Vanscore Disruptor, King R Skyrath. That seems all very kind of neatly tucked away. Oh, they get rid of the PL. That makes a lot of sense, actually. Dispel, track, dispel everything from Warlock. There's no illusion clear from ESPADA.
Yeah, they really couldn't have dealt with the PL, but I think Void is still scary. I think they might have a pick in mind to stop them picking Void, but it is something they've got to be aware of. I'd be surprised if they hadn't thought about it.
10 seconds remaining.
Like a Kunkka. We're gonna see a lot of Kunkka. Yeah.
Seeming to be the trend. Does well against Zeus. We've seen that matchup today already. Did win that lane.
I mean, what, 30 denies at 12 minutes, whatever it was? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I thought they would have thought about it. I was pretty sure. It seemed weird they would just give them the Void.
Yeah.
Their draft is so good with it on Double Dimension. So they block pick it, take it for themselves. They have some decent synergy. Pugna is good with it, but not the best synergy, but it is mostly that block pick, I think.
Definitely. Like, how bad does it feel that you're kind of forced into a position where you have to block pick the Void?
Yeah, it's not ideal. It's going to be whether Double Dimension have a pick to really exploit the fact they've had to pick it.
They've got plenty of time.
They do. A lot of the 1 positions are banned. Jug's out, Lycan's out, PL's out, Luna's out as well.
Choose your hero.
I like that pick. Good against the Clockwork, Spectral Dagger out of it.
Yeah.
Good against...
Oh, go on.
I think ESPADA do lack damage, kind of. Pugna is their really only mass damage dealer, so Spectre's actually... If Spectre gets chronoed and he has a few items up, he could actually survive that. I think ESPADA have got to win their lanes here to have a chance beating this draft from Double Dimension.
And it's a Spectre with a Zeus. And it's a Spectre with like super good pick-off power, right? Beastmaster Skyrath enables Haunt really nicely. Glimpse is really nice with Haunt as well, just being able to kind of drag multiple heroes back so you can kind of Haunt onto one target with your Sky Beastmaster, kill it, and then haunt back to like a glimpse target for Vanskor and Pikachu to find. They've got really nice natural synergy. I'm like fully behind Double Dimensions draft, honestly, the way that this is kind of all panned out.
I prefer all of their heroes.
Yeah.
I think the Beastmaster, it just has more of an impact than the Clockwork can do, especially when you're playing Clock against Disruptor. It is hard to find those openings and not be glimpsed, really. The Pugna just feels like it won't pressure Zeus enough in the mid lane, so Zeus is going to have a good game, I think. And then the Spectre just does feel really strong this game because of that lack of damage from ESPADA. I think if Zeus gets this 4-staff quick, this Clockwork's going to really struggle to have any impact at all.
Well, away we go. Let's see what they can do. Immersion.
Prepare for battle.
Over on the bounty. ILTW heading down towards bottom with him. Time walking himself all the way down towards bottom lane. And Nyx will be that mid Pugna as BZZ looks like he's holding out up a top lane against Cheshire Cat and King R. Oh, look at that. King R triple mango, Cheshire Cat triple mango. They know what's up. ILTW has 9 tangos. He's got 3 sets of tangos. He knows this lane's going to be rough. Hang on. How many triple mangoes do we have actually on this Radiant team? Sky? Oh, it's 3. Sky, Beastmaster, Spectre.
Yeah. Even Zeus has one in the mid lane. It's a good item.
It's very strong.
30 seconds to battle.
It's just a superior clarity because you can play aggro in the lane without worrying about it.
Okay, they got the D ward. They're holding on for as long as they could.
Zeus is going to take some damage here.
He sure is. He's gone for Lightning Bolt level 1 as well to try and D-ward that sentry. Immersion. Shadow Walk in a second. Damage output looking decent. Final clicks coming in. No reveal though near enough. And now Kuman does have to make the hot retreat away. But that's a lot of regen burnt here. Dire team have done incredibly well as they grab themselves double bounty runes and Spectre Disruptor Zeus having to chip away at those little tangos they've been holding. But they're going to swap their lanes around, send their Spectre and Disruptor up towards top. And I think that ESPADA might just rotate around as well.
Yeah, Clockwork, Kid and Bot. They know what lanes they want, so they're just rotating for them. They want the Spectre to be against the pressure lane, which is that Pugna.
This is a really nice maneuver, though, finding the catch on Cheshire Cat as he moves himself in.
So they want Void against the Spectre lane.
Oh, Courier. I don't think Bounty can get this. They're being very, very patient. Pikachu just holds it by his tier 3.
Yeah, they know. They know what he'll be trying to do. It's pretty standard for items to go for that. Pikachu will take a lot of harass from these two heroes, though.
He's got a salve coming out.
So that's nice. He sees where the bounty is. Obviously, he's hitting him, but that means the courier's safe to come out. Gets himself. Double mango now.
So Kuman and Cheshire Cat both down at bottom. Cheshire Cat, yeah, swings up towards top. Scareth Mage.
Musical lanes.
It really is. Sky's being tracked back here by Bounty. Just keeping tabs on King R for as long as he possibly can. BZZ thinking about the movement over, but I'm not going to get close enough. So they're setting up with a Spectre Sky against the Clockwork. That's going to be a nice amount of harass, allowing Spectre to continue farming. Bounty, at this point, feels a little bit awkward where he can actually head to. Doesn't really want to make plays bottom lane unless, you know, the opportunity arises where King R is out of position. But it feels like King R here should be kind of playing in parallel to the Spectre, very rarely in front of the Spectre.
Yeah, you sit behind that creep wave. Until the Clockwork has boots, you're pretty safe because you actually have the movement speed advantage. You know, Scareth a fast hero, so it's hard for him to get in. As long as he doesn't get those cogs off, I think that should be fine. Obviously, Spectre really good against this Clockwork in lane. You just can't lock him into those cogs because of Spectral Dagger. So.
One of the great things about Bounty, though, is that you kind of want to exploit his, that fear factor, right? Where you move to one lane, you show yourself, you swing to another lane, you show yourself, you TP, to the opposite side of the map, and then no one knows exactly where you are. But it feels kind of pigeonholed into, oh god, Nyx nearly died middle lane. Pikachu there with the spam of the lightning. As BZZ getting gone on bottom, and this might be the end of him. They've got the damage, they've got the kill. One more tap of the Arcane Bolt, and down he goes.
It's level 2 on Skywrath. The damage is a lot. Nice to see them make that play. Go aggressive against this lane.
So all three of these lanes going very well for Double Dimension. I mean, you look at Pugna Clock, 5-4, 5-2, and you compare to, you know, the Zeus and the Beastmaster. It's insane.
Yeah. This is where the bot lane, there's really no point Bounty being here as well. They're not going to be afraid of the Clockwork's initiation now, so I expect to see Bounty Hunter heading top, thinking that's his best chance of getting something done.
Is Pugna meant to lose this lane this hard?
Not this hard, I don't think. The thing is, the Crepify doesn't really work against Zeus. That's usually your lane advantage.
Yeah.
But obviously, he just uses his spells to last it. So nice to see him taking a point in the Nether Ward early on. That really is your advantage this lane. Pikachu might goes forward to get the last hit on the ward.
Well, he sure enough got it. Oh, there's the damage.
Baited in a bit by the ward there.
The decrep play.
Take it out. Yeah. Sick play by Nyx.
Nice TP out by Misha. Glimpse had already been used. TP's back to his tier 1 top as well, so he's continuing to stay in lane and keep the sustain going on this void. Bounty will get a nice bit of vision down. And this is your 420 reminder that the bounty runes are spawning very shortly. Everyone going to start getting ready for those. Looks like Skywrath has got his eyes on bottom. And Disruptor trying to kind of angle his way in, but the fact that Bounty Hunter's here, they'll throw the axes out, but the Fatal Bonds look very good. Cheshire Cat takes one final hit, and Vanskull's going to get chased down as well. He's out of space. He can't survive. Well, 2 for nothing there in the top lane.
The Bounty Hunter getting something done there. That's really good for the Dire. Gives him a few levels. He's a bit scary again now. You've got to worry about him being in your lane.
Cheshire Cat, are you a fast clicker? Yes. Yes, you are. I mean, bottom lane, BCZ is faster than King R. He's trapped him in the cogs here, and with the battery assault, yeah, that's a very nice kill. Kuman chases forward.
You kill going the way of Spectre, though.
Yeah, the trade back and the bounty rune as well, so that's pretty nicely done there. Rotating Disruptor down to bottom.
Cheshire Cat did get that rune top, but he traded half of his HP pool, and he doesn't actually have any regen left, so not as good as it looked.
He's got a full bottle if he goes to shop, though.
Nah, that's true, he is going for that. No bounty runes for another... It's best if you get that bottle before that 5-minute spawn, obviously. But not been able to. This Spectre just bullying this Clockwork in the bot lane now.
Very irritating. So Nyx is just throwing out these Pugna wards to try and deal with King R and Pikachu spamming out their spells. It seems to be working reasonably well, honestly.
Yeah, it's the way you play this lane. You have to go for a point in that. You have to use it on cooldown pretty much. Just give you that slight advantage.
A haste rune. BZZ could maybe activate the Pugna in the mid on the Zeus. Of course, he's got no escape mechanism. And chasing Misha top to find the kill on Warlock. The heal is going, but I think the damage should be good enough, especially if they haunt in. Well, the haunt is actually in towards mid. The Void comes in with a chrono. Well, the Fatal Bond's going. The bash arrives and King R dies. In comes Cheshire Cat, but Misha still alive. Try and turn around here, but Cheshire Cat is going to be tanky enough with that stout shield going. But mid lane, Pikachu dies and Spectre wasted Horn.
Yeah, he uses Horn, trying to go on the Clockwork as he dives in the mid lane, but gets hit by that Pugna Blast and actually nearly dies. So has to go back to base. Definitely a waste of his ult there.
So 2 very nice little skirmishes mid lane and top lane there from ESPADA as they get the job done.
Go down here, bottom lane.
Yeah, the trouble is bounty there is found. In the meantime, top lane, it just seems like there's battles on both sides of the map, and you know, communication-wise, this has to be pretty difficult trying to judge and gauge where you want to react and respond when ESPADA are just being like, right, we put 2 heroes here, 2 heroes there, and we go. But Double Dimension have to be like, do we defend bot, top, mid? Do we TP here or there? It must be real difficult.
Yeah, Double Dimension have got to worry about protecting their Spectre as well, obviously. That's the kind of hero you can't you can't just let die during this early game. You do have to secure his farm quite a lot. Whereas Void, a lot more self-sufficient, so they can kind of rotate more freely.
For once, I remembered that I had coffee before it got cold. Oh, yes. Usually it's just like, you know, several mugs sitting around of coffee I've made and forgotten about.
Next goes down the mid lane.
Does drop to that Zeus ulti. A glimpse onto the Warlock. Back up to top you go. Chasing down Clockwork as well here. He's still level 4. Very close to level 5, but with King R and Pikachu both arriving, they might just have enough damage. The stick charges are there, but Kuman arrives. Swipes him down with that nice bit of desolate damage.
So Zeus actually got buffed in the last patch. It was mostly on his lightning bolt. They increased the mana cost in the early levels, but the cast range is a lot higher. So that does mean kills are a lot easier in this early game. You don't need that 8th lens to really have that pressure.
Oh dear. Nyx and Immersion down in the river. Glimpse back. BZZ sent all the way home, and yeah, Bounty trapped between a rock and a hard place. Do I go left, right, into Zeus, or into Skywrath? You can do neither. Only option is death. Nyx can't get the deny on the Pugna ward either. Nicely played by King R and Vanscore there to secure it. And top lane, Cheshire Cat dies again. This time Chronosphere on a solo hero.
Yeah, IL2W having a really good lane here. And CS easily the highest in the game. Saying that Treasure Cat does have good levels, just picking up level 6 now. Got his phase boots. Definitely look at making a rotation, maybe onto that Pugna in the mid lane. Kingar in the mid lane getting dived. Should be a guaranteed kill this.
Want to give it to the Pugna, right? Nyx will secure it. And there should be a lot of damage onto this tier 1 mid as well. Level 4 Nether Blast, clearing out creep waves. And top lane, they've killed off IL2W, you're right. Throwing
Zeus.
Zeus.
Not needed there, they just throw down the Static Storm with the Zeus with him.
So they can hold
They could hold on to the Raw.
Yeah, they hold on to Raw for next kill. Vanscore's like, hey, there's a bounty here. Immersion chooses the correct direction to go, but there is the tier 1 middle lane. Spectre Horns in again. Nyx caught and killed. As Immersion, they know Immersion's there. They've got the dust as well. That Horn illusion catches the bounty, so a free kill, a bonus one. And Kuman dominating now on this Spectre. 4-0-2. Looking very, very hot.
So nice play by Double Dimension. Vansker actually gives the dust over to the Spectre. Obviously the Horn easily got onto that bounty hunt to get that dust off. Obviously they didn't actually see him there, but the illusion following him around gave away his position. That's an easy kill.
What's Nyx buying into? So he's got Arcanes, he's building into Aether Lens. That's pretty standard. But I could definitely see, you know, multiple hoods or cloaks being built up this game. Again, it's one of those games where there's just so much magic damage on this Radiant side that, I mean, hell, he just like Bounty by a pipe, Clockwork, yeah, he's buying a hood. He knows what's up. He's got the treads going into hood. But even the Pugna could really get a lot of value out of just buying a cloak or a hood here.
I think there's better items for a Pugna. I think you need to stack a bit of that HP. You do get your talent at 10, which gives you 225, so a bit more survivable then. I really think he needs to get the Aeon Disc pretty soon.
And then rely on... Maybe Bounty can go like Glimmer Cape, right? And you rely on the Bounty giving you...
Yeah, I just think Pipe doesn't give Pugna. He needs to be doing damage this game. I think it's too defensive for that hero. If you look... If he builds the Pipe, who's going to be damaging the Chrono?
Yeah, that's
you
true.
really need him for that.
Need the
Bounty
big damage.
nearly level 6.
LTW has his Mask of Madness coming out on Courier. He's got a TP scroll as well, but they're setting up for a fight. Down at bottom without him. Immersion. Looking for Kuman. They get the hook shot in, but again, that glimpse comes into play as Kuman just daggers over the cogs. Hiding in the trees, LTW dies top lane as the 3-man comes in. Kuman, standing his ground to fight, tries to get over the treetops, but will die. But look at this disaster in the bottom lane. The Golem goes to work, Nyx drains back onto Vanscore, but in comes Skywrath. Damage done, Cheshire Cat turns and burns, but he's got no mana, no HP left. Nyx, he gets the kill before he dies himself, but BZZ, with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, the Golem is actually being the MVP of this fight. He's going to get another one. One more slap, and Misha gets a double kill with his Golem.
4 for 4. Carnage in the bottom lane.
What? 4 for 4 bottom lane, and then Void died top lane, right?
3 for 4, yeah.
So 4 for 5, all things said and done. Dear Lord. Golem is very big.
Yeah, did a lot in that fight. Good against these weaker sports. Skywrath, Disruptor, both going to take a lot of damage from that.
That was pretty ballsy from Pikachu, just like dropping his items on the floor to heal from bottle. Immersion very nearby.
Immersion is spotted. Pikachu knows he's there.
I don't have Zeus ulti for like 10 seconds. With a track the life drain, the vision is there. Immersion moving in, but immediately blown up by Zeus. Zeus goes for the TP. Nice. Hookshot and Chrono. Maybe not so nice, but they do still get the kill. As Kuman doesn't have a TP scroll. He's going to have to go for the dagger again in 7 seconds.
Bit of an overcommitment on that Zeus, but worth throwing both spells to get the kill. Lack of communication, I guess, but both just securing it.
Just one of those last second things. I think, you know, if you've got the guaranteed hookshot, just throw that in. It was just the fact that, like, Clock wasn't sure if the Void would land the Chrono in time, and the TP was getting pretty close.
Yeah, you've got to throw it. Fine to use that hookshot, pretty low cooldown at this stage in the game.
Sky with a standard double brace and null into Atos. Pressure up towards top lane here. Obs and sentries. Vanscore keeping the ward game going. Yes, he's got boots this game as well, Crysen. Vanscore, 14 minutes in, he has brown boots, so...
Ah, nice.
It's a big success.
Rich.
Absolutely is.
There's about 6 games in the open qualifiers where the 5 position didn't have boots to like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, they see the bounty coming straight in. It's a good hook shot forward, but again, that glimpse is there. Vanscore's positioning pretty spot on, but the bash cancels King R's TP. Forces him to stick around. He's not going to be too happy about that. But just looking at the net worth, it's this bounty hunter again, like we were saying. He's bottom of the net worth. He's playing this POS 5, which means that your Warlock is the POS 4 with gold. Oh, that's a tasty golem. Dropped onto Cheshire Cat. Down he goes. In comes Kuman, looking for Misha. Maybe he can go for Nyx as well, but I think he's going to have to run away. As BZZ's battery assault a little bit too much to handle.
Yeah, so Warlock getting a lot more gold than he usually would in these games. Obviously, we've played as that position for, like you said. Interested to see what he builds. I'm not sure why. You can go the Aether lens with that cast range talent. Does make you're able to stay out the fight. You have really long cast range on all your spells.
Courier. Oh. Did Bounty really want to show there? It's 4 staff on Zeus. Oh,
yes, he's got his 4 staff up against that Clockwork. Oh. Nice timing on it.
Yeah,
Clockwork struggling to have any impact.
I think Warlock buys Hand of Midas, Crysen.
Ah, yeah, maybe. You do get that 60% XP gain at 15.
Like, that talent is actually ridiculous. Like, if you get like the 20-30 minute tomes or hook shot, Vanscore's gonna have to throw spells in here. Roar is good onto Void, slows down the aggression. The 2-man stack Storm and Field allows them to open up onto the bounty. LTW still hunting, but he's gonna have to time walk away from the damage as Nyx drains back Vanscore, cancelled out as Vanscore sticks and gets bottled up by Cheshire Cat. So spells thrown in, just, you know, almost at random, just thrown into whoever they can to stop that fight. But it's still Double Dimension that comes out on top because you know what, Crysen? Spectre, she's farming. Relic money's there.
Vanscore on point with these glimpses, really limiting what Clockwork can do this game. It's such a sad clockwork game. Every time you hook in, you're just sent back out of the fight.
Nick's Pugner. Van Score.
Losing vision.
Towing the line very nicely there.
Look at Pugner's items, you're right.
Yeah, he's got an Aetherland's hood. So much for a... What are you? 1.5k immortal?
Yeah.
Get dogged, nerd. I haven't calibrated yet. I'm going to calibrate it like Ancient 5, I swear.
Well, that's still better than most UK players, mate.
True, true. I mean, every UK player is 3k according to Reddit.
Yeah.
I love how much that triggers a lot of people in the UK. Doesn't trigger me at all. IDC.
Yeah, it's because you are 3K.
Hey! Oh, immersion. No! Oh no.
Bounty's just melting through these.
You know what a bounty needs, Crysen? Bounty needs a cloak or a hood.
You reckon? 3 pipes.
Yep. I mean,
He's not getting gold for a hood, is he?
Warlock's getting glimmer, right? Yeah, okay. And Bounty will not have any money. Things slow down a little bit. Cheshire Cat. What's he buying? He's buying Force Staff. Yeah, he's got Force Staff on Cheshire Cat. Force Staff into hood, into pipe. Very utility focused.
Yeah, I guess he's recognising that his aura isn't that beneficial to his cause, so obviously he does have it, but if he can do the utility, help Zeus, make him survive, he'll do the brunt of the damage.
Another nice grab on Bounty. Don't know if they've got enough to finish him. The Roar in the back end with the Chrono and Golem drop. Cheshire Cat will fall, but they've already killed off Nyx. Bounty Hunter will survive the scuffle, but that's a good hookshot in. Force Staff at the ready. Over the cogs and far away. Glimpse back, trying to keep Pikachu alive, but he's going to get burnt down here. Looks like with the damage pieces he has, he's got one more punch, and the Golem will be the one to grab it. Another good team fight. ESPADA this time are the ones that react very nicely to what Double Dimension are doing. And OK Spectre is still farming. She's bought time for that Radiance to be completed and has Haunt for the next fight. But that's a good signal of intent there from ESPADA.
Yeah, there's a BKB on Void as well now, so he's going to be hard to deal with now. Obviously Zeus won't be able to do much to him during that BKB, so he'll be able to get damage out in his crit.
And here it comes, Radiance Haunt. Spectre goes in, 1v4. Cheshire Cat has to deal with the BKB Void as ILTW stands his ground. Where is that Spectre? Running forward, trying to find anyone? No one dying here until the glimpse arrives. And ILTW, Time Walk in a second, has to go low ground towards Misha. Dagger forward from Kuman, the Glimmer Cape is there. But I think this chase is going to be enough to catch RTW. Oh, maybe not. There's no vision high ground, so they go the Warlock instead. Oh, BZZ hookshot into the backside of Nyx. Straight into the crack of Pugner.
Nice block from Nyx there.
Very strong, and unfortunately, Nyx is so tilted that he's blocked that hookshot. He's walked into them and died. RTW wants to try and find a kill on Vanskor, but he's also tie-walked in the middle of 4 of them. And Bounty from the high ground is tracking back and forth, but there we have it. ILTW, a bonus kill, and an absolute calamity of a team fight from ESPADA. We were just praising them for how well they reacted, and then they just go and throw it all away.
Yeah, just thinking they're slightly stronger than they are. No Chrono in that fight. Obviously, Pugner's already dead. Misplays from ESPADA there, but they're just going to wait for their ults and take a fight. They do feel strong with this BKB on Void.
King R with Rod of Atos now. Can look for some solo pickoffs potentially.
Cheshire Cat going for that pipe as well. Obviously, like you said, really good for both teams this game. Yeah, I'll be back in 1 second.
Right, Bounty has an urn. He's got his first item. Overtaken the Disruptor in net worth. Very nicely done. Pikachu, Aetherland's 4 staff, and we can only expect the Aghanim Scepter to be coming up next for the Zeus. And try and play with this Kuman Spectre a little nicer. As Kuman is working on that blade mail after the Radiance there to deal with the Pugna damage, as well as the Warlock, of course. And with the ultis up though from ESPADA, oh dear lord. I'm very glad I was looking up at the HP bars because I very nearly missed that kill on the Pugna. But I was just about to say, with all their ultis up, it feels like they want to do this. They want to go and smoke, play into the Pugna, try and make action happen. But Pugna dead for 30 seconds means this is going to be a difficult one to start off. Immersion moving in, Invis and Smoked, looking for the info, looking for the initiation. Chrono cancelled. ILTW does hold on to it now as the hook shot lands. Force Staff out and Pikachu runs. Back end of the fight, Kuman chasing, looking for the kill onto the Warlock, and they will find it. Misha is dead. BZZ struggling now. Pikachu, he's going to get himself away from this. No, the first hit bash from LTW will secure the kill on Zeus. But what can they do from here on out? Immersion is on the back end as this bounty hunter as LTW goes to work on King R and takes down the Scarf Mage. It's looking okay now for ESPADA, and Cheshire Cat going for the TP out, but the Chrono's there. ILTW gets the catch, and that will be a 3-for-1 as Warlock was the only casualty of war. Spectre unfortunately not able to do too much there as the Void's BKB. Very nicely played. Even with that Pugna being dead for so long, they start the fight off and get those pickoffs.
Spectre choosing not to go into that fight meant Zeus really had no way of staying protected behind his cores, so just gets chased down by ILTW.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, like Spectre, Disruptor both just beelined towards the Warlock. Like he didn't throw ulti, he got a Fatal Bonds out. Misha died almost immediately, but they couldn't really follow through. Like the Void BKB was just so powerful.
Yeah. Nice use of double Force Staff from the Zeus and then the Beastmaster to get him out of those cogs, get him away from the team. But once you've used both those Force Staffs, then Zeus is so fragile.
Zeus is going into Ags. Another Force Staff for King R's coming up as well. Closing in on that for himself. And they're all buying it. Disruptor's buying a Force So from what I said about no one wants to buy Force Staff, they all feel forced to buy Force Staff because they're against the Clockwork.
It's just a nice time.
Good hook shot. Can the Cogs trap him? Oh, with that Golem, yes, they can. There's no more Force Staff. Zeus is trapped inside. A huge team fight here from ESPADA. Not only the Skywrath, but also the Zeus and Disruptor pickoffs on top. I don't know if this opens up any kind of objective for them, as they are in this Radiant jungle in kind of an awkward position with no creep wave shoving forward. So maybe mid-tier 2, maybe Roshan, but it looks like they're just going to reset and farm after that team fight win.
Yeah, they will have Chrono up for the next fight. Not used in that fight, obviously still in cooldown from the fighting bot. Just committing the Golem, so really good fight for ESPADA again. Zeus just feels he's just getting jumped on in every fight. There's no way for him to get away. Like you said, he's been forced into this Force Staff, but
hey,
feeling like a weak item now.
But he really is one of those heroes. You know, he's very similar to Invoker in the fact that pre-Ags, he isn't Zeus yet, right?
That's when his game definitely turns around. That's a PowerPoint they're probably waiting for.
Lots of scribbling there from Zeus. Pikachu seems pretty unhappy with the way that the Dire team kind of freely walk into this Radiant jungle and just find fights at will. Definitely need to get some wards down here as the Radiant.
Dying twice is such quick succession. Definitely stunting his net worth.
Void up at the top ahead of the Spectre. Pugna's done very well to kind of catch up in this lane. Got absolutely curb stomped by the Zeus in the first 4-5 minutes. And now, a good 2 grand ahead. Even the Clockwork has caught up.
Pugna's items just trying to be unkillable in this game.
Looks like that's the way it's going to go. King R's TP cancelled. Immersion. Is this going to be a 3-man track kill? Maybe 4 if BZZ was close enough. I'm not quite sure about that. But Vanscore is still tracked here, and it's going to be an additional one. Another 4-man track kill. As they all get themselves... Well, Warlock wasn't close enough for that, I'm pretty damn sure. So, gold still in the pockets of this Dire squad. As that level 1 track still coming into play very nicely.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is the nice thing about Bounty in that 5 position. He was struggling for net worth for up until about the 18-minute mark, but a couple of nice fights, a few track kills, and now he's pretty much got his spirit vessel.
Radiant are scanning.
They've been executing team fights really nicely. Like every chrono has been, perfect on the correct heroes at the right time. He's fake pumped a couple to try and, bait out spells and force staffs, and then really stuck it to them when he's needed to. And they might find the Zeus back here as well. Immersion. Gonna get haunted upon. The Roar, very nice. Onto the BKB Void. Damage output, not quite enough here to take him down, but they killed. No! I've just bloody praised you for not missing any sodding chronos. A caster curse onto ILTW, stopped up by the Sentinel now as well. As the Fatal Bombs arrive, the Golden Drop, they're gonna take down Kuman. Spectre's gone. Vanscore in trouble as BZZ chases forward. Gets the hook shot in, and King R traced back by Nyx. Pugna arriving. I don't know if they've got the chase to actually bring down King R with another decrep. It looks like they will. Life drain down and 4 heroes gone.
Yeah, he missed the chrono, it didn't really matter. It was actually quite nice. He separated the rest of the Radiant team from the Zeus, guaranteeing that kill. So it looked like a whiff chrono, but I'm going to say calculated on that one.
Zoning chrono.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, if only they had a bit more physical damage, though. That Void roared through BKB. It looked like he might die, but again, this Zeus just doesn't offer you anything at this point in the game.
Spectre just taking way too much damage. The Fatal Bonds on that hero with his Bond Illusions, paired with like the Blade Mail from Clockwork and the Pugna as well. Hard to stay alive right now.
And Roshan's still sitting in his little cave, undisturbed. It's going to be one of those kind of weird games where nobody wants to go there because of the amount of teamfight presence and because of the vision that everyone has. There's no way to sneak it. There's no way to kind of get in there and steal it from under the noses of your opponents. It really has to be like a teamfight win into Roshan. But no one wants to go for that stalemate standoff across the river. It's very much split push, find fights, use the vision that you have. And this is going to be a big smoke now from the Radiant team. This could be their opening for Roshan.
Yeah.
But they're going the wrong way.
Haunt comes up now. The Dire will have Chrono, but they won't have Rock in this fight. There might be an opening for the Radiant. Looks like they have noticed that they probably are in Roche.
Oh
so
dear.
That's still walking down mid, they might not.
I mean,
there we go.
Spectre pinged it. They definitely know
Yeah,
now. Cheshire Cat roars the Warlock. Horn in with the Mystic Flare. Warlock gone. Has buyback. BZZ is trapped inside that static storm. Misha returns to the fight with that buyback, but BZZ Clockwork is dead with the Chrono on the back end. It looks like they have managed to bring someone down. 3 for 2 though.
This Void just looking too powerful right now.
He really is with that Mjolnir as well. Attack speed, absolutely insane.
It's this time warp cast range. It means wherever he sees Zeus, even though he's using his spells from far away, you can just jump it in. No way for Zeus.
Steal. Oh, hello! Cheshire Cat, God, that's more like it. Has a force staff to maybe get himself away from here, but stealing that Aegis is all that he really wanted to accomplish. Forces down, gets bashed up, and with the treacle thrown in by Misha, he will get slowed down to molasses.
It's a nice play, but I'm not sure how much it actually matters. None of these cores on the ESPADA seem to be even close to dying in these fights.
I mean, that's not meant to happen there.
It's not meant to happen.
Do we like to see that, Crysen?
Don't like to see that.
Don't like to
I'm
see
not sure
that,
why
do
he's
we?
farming there. Just taking Roche, he doesn't have good vision.
Yep.
Thinks he's safe, but 4 heroes on him.
Bizarre decision. But yeah,
not what we
ILTW
like to
Void.
see.
So strong.
Yeah, it just seems like the perfect hero here. Zeus really struggling to play against it. He felt like he needed that 4 stuff, but I feel like it has gone against him now. He does have the Ags now though, so maybe stays further back, waits for that Chrono to be used, just uses his Ags and his ult.
So, we'll come to that question.
There's Pugna Ward against Skyra.
Oh, shit. Okay, right. So after the draft, we both liked Double Dimensions draft, and we kind of liked the way their laning phase was going to go, and it went well. Laning phase went well. Has there been a turning point for ESPADA, or has it been a chain of events that they've kind of got lucky in? Like, what has changed since end of draft and now to put them in such a dominating position?
I think it's a combination of the Dire just not having the saves to stop Zeus from dying. Also, their squishy supports means that these track kills just been coming in thick and fast, so they've just got the advantage now. Like I said, Void just seems like the right hero to have this game. It's really limiting what the Radiant can do in these fights. You've always got to be afraid of that Chrono. That Scarab took 1,013 damage from the Pugna Ward, by the way. Rough game.
Oh, dearie me.
Because of the mechanics as well, it actually damages you before you get the spells off, so
yeah,
he died without even using his ult.
Very annoying. Oh, Kuman, TP cancel. Yeah.
You know what item Scarab needs? He needs a nice hood.
Does he need a hood as well? Just everyone buy a hood this game. Wait, what's Spectre up to?
So the nice thing about Horn, it actually takes off the Aeon disc from Pugna. So.
Oh, it pops it.
Yeah, it knocks him down below that threshold, so it actually pops him. That's pretty nice.
Is that only if he's standing? Like, is that with Desolate damage? Like, if he's standing alone, or?
Yeah, a couple of hits there.
Okay.
I don't think the Radiants do it alone. You think a little bit more damage, but it's quite reliable.
Well, Kuman doesn't have buyback.
Can you get away? He's actually okay.
I mean, TP in 20. I don't think so. Like, they just keep chasing, right?
They have too much vision.
Yeah, they have infinite vision.
They have Nimbus is up. Oh, he misses it. He's here, guys.
No.
Oh.
What?
Wow.
No. They think
no. Lucky guy.
Oh my god. That is. There is no other spot. That is the only place he could have ever gone to get lucky. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, literally anywhere else, and he dies. Whoo, dearie me.
That was about 2 units from the Nimbus hitting him as well. Would have been dead for sure.
I mean,
Zeus dies, actually.
Nimbus is on his team, though.
Oh, yeah.
6,000 MMR, everyone. It's an easy mistake to make.
Oh, dear.
It's an easy mistake to make. Well, that's your one.
That's my one. There you go.
That's your one.
No more mistakes.
No more mistakes. We will crucify you.
He's dying to the bounty hunter there. We saw Pikachu Zeus in the open qualifiers, and he actually carried a few games for Double Dimension, but really struggling this game.
Pugna Dagon time. What is it? Level 4 Dagon. Ooh. Spectre's gonna get blasted. Oh, we've got bot lane pushed in by Golem. Again, this net closes in around Double Dimension. I often like to say, you know, a Spectre game is never over until the Spectre's dead without buyback and the enemy team's hitting your throne. But I just don't see how the Spectre outputs enough damage to deal with Void and Pugna this game. Like, the magic damage from Pugna, the physical from Void, they've got such a nice balance as this game has progressed.
Yeah, Void is one of the strongest late game carries purely because of how Chrono its effectiveness at all stages in the game, really. Obviously, when these refresher shards come into effect as well from the third Roshan, he's just going to be even more powerful. What's Spectre going for? So he is going for the heart. Feels like he needs to be a bit tankier. I do agree with that, but
too little, too late.
It's enough, yeah.
When MKB is coming now from the Void to deal with that Radiance when he's not got BKB up.
These fights, the Dire are just kind of ignoring Spectre though. You know, they're just focusing on the Zeus, the supports as well. Once they're down, then the fight's over.
Who's that? Warlock glimpsed. The battle of the D ward commences, and Dire will win.
So Immersion doing well, just keeping these tracks out, keeping vision on the heroes, making sure they are staying in that base.
There's nowhere to go, nowhere to farm. There's this Radiant side. They do have a smoke on Skyrath, and I think it's getting close to that point where it's desperation smoke time once that track has ended.
Beastmaster has picked up a gem as well, so trying to take back the map control here.
I'm very disappointed that Pugnet isn't wearing the BZZ set, by the way. I mean, how must you feel? This clockwork. BZZ must be so sad that his friend, his teammate, Nyx on the Pugner, refuses to wear the most common set that literally every player has.
What do you mean? Got a set on?
No, he's just got one Immortal, right? And a Taunt. Netherward Immortal and Taunt. That's it.
Here they go. ESPADA going high ground. We'll see how the Radiant deal with this. Pugner Ward is down, so Gareth and Zeus being able to defend, they are limited.
5 ultis for Dire. Pugner just blasting away at tier 3. Blasting away at the poor little Hellbear. Rocket Flare, hookshot being lined up by BZZ, but not committing for it just yet. And they can just kind of proxy push with Nether Blast. Little by little, chip away, take tier 3, look for racks now as the lane opens up for them. And Vision kept going there by the Clockwork Rocket Flare. Top lane, Spectre is getting a nice bit of split push going. And with the backdoor regen starting to kick in, a smoke from the Radiant, they feel like it's time.
Yeah, they're feeling pressured to do something. Obviously, they let them take that tier 3 without any contention, really. They can't do that with the racks. They've got to try. The issue they've got is this Aeon Disc and Lotus Orb on Pugner. Now the Lincolns as well, they just can't fight into that.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Well, the Hawk gives a little bit of vision. Cheshire Cat, though, scouted by the Clockwork. In comes the Nimbus with the Horn. Aeon Disc pops from Nyx, and the BKB Void, he's going to survive. He can jump forward now and look for the kills. Trapped inside the cogs, but Vanscore's dead. And one by one, they do get the kill on Pugner, but Kuman will be likely another hero to fall here. He's tanky, but not tanky enough to deal with ILTW. Triple buyback out from Double Dimension as they look to defend. Do they TP the Shrine? They sure as hell do. Skyrath looking for the cutoff. Who can he find? Cheshire Cat kills Misha. They're moving into the Void. 1-2 tap, and down goes the poor Skyrath as a triple kill gained by ILTW.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah, a lot of buybacks forced out there.
Radiant's bottom barracks.
Meanwhile, in Radiant base, Warlock with his talent has summoned a second golem and is destroying barracks. What will Radiant do now? Find out next time on What the Fuck is Happening. Like, how do you deal with this? This is so obnoxious.
Yeah, they're really tanky as well. 3,000 health now. It's a lot of time to commit. 200 gold, there you go.
They lost a tier 3 in a range racks.
Yeah, don't get the melee rack, so that's something, but like I said, the buyback's forced on Spectre, Beast, Destructor as well. It's going to be hard to take the next fight for Spectre. If he goes in, then he's got to be really careful not to die.
Regeneration. Double damage.
Well, it's actually so nice that, you know, they changed that Maelstrom thing so it can't be evaded. So now he has MKB and Mjolnir to deal with that Radiance for Spectre. That's pretty tasty. Spectre is still queuing up Butterfly, by the way. Not sure how I feel about that, but the catch onto King R. BZZ moves in. Chrono onto the Spectre, and that is Kuman gone. Dead for 2 minutes. A roll back from Cheshire Cat to try and take at least somebody out of this game, but ILTW, he's got himself a Mask of Madness, which means he doesn't time walk and dies. But I don't think it matters too much. He buys back, and this fight is not going well for the Radiant. Nyx is still here, sprinting around and zapping down Cheshire Cat. Vanscore trapped inside the cogs as Immersion gets away from the Zeus, but it is going to be a 4-for-1 as ESPADA clear through the ranks of Double Dimension.
LTW buys back, knowing that they can end the game now. No buyback on Beastmaster or Spectre. No reason they can't take Megas here. 80 seconds without Spectre.
Yeah.
Zeus. Nice push back. Clockwork.
Can't even force away. GG.
Yeah, GG.
Radiant's bottom barracks are
Great play from ESPADA there, showing how they knocked out Na'Vi, you know. Just great team play. Really nice draft as well.
It looked like, from my perspective, it looked kind of wonky. We were worried about the Void block pick and how it would fit in. But they slotted everyone really nicely into position. Laning phase was a bit, hit or miss. You're not quite sure how things are going to progress forward. But they kind of brought it all together very nicely.
Yeah, I thought they'd struggle for damage, but the Void got far enough ahead, got that Maelstrom up. They were fine for damage throughout the game.
So, you know what's going to happen, right? In this group stage.
Go on.
Team Spirit has defeated ESPADA. Double Dimension has defeated Fly to Moon. Empire has defeated Vega. Spirit has defeated Gambit, so Spirit are at the top. But now ESPADA has defeated Double Dimension. We're just having everyone kind of beating everyone else in a circle, and we're going to have like 6 tiebreakers or something for all the other teams.
So Double Dimension beat Fly to Moon?
Yeah.
Oh, that's quite surprising. Fly to Moon, one of the invited teams, so...
Yeah.
And obviously third at Epicenter. Probably one of the favourites going into this qualifier.
I mean, coming up next, we've got Gambit against Team Empire. If Empire win that, then I think we're going to have, 2 front runners in Spirit and Empire kind of asserting their dominance and saying, hey, we're kind of ahead of the pack here. But you can never count out, these CIS teams, like a team like Gambit, you're never quite sure if they're just going to be like, hey, we've got Oracle Huskar and you've lost the best of 1. Have fun with that.
Yeah, we'll see. Empire did look really dominant in their game that we casted earlier.
All right, we'll take a short break. Coming up, hopefully in about 5 minutes, we'll see Gambit against Team Empire as we continue our 7 best of 1s today in the CIS regionals for TI8.